What's up, guys? I'm Spencer24 Sony. Yeah, I know, I did not review this movie as I had planned last night. I'm not going to bother apologizing, and I'm not going to bother pretending like I have a good excuse. What happened was, by the time I got done with watching this movie again, it was 12:40 at night. I was exhausted and tired. I still had to write this review and upload it, and I just didn't think that it would work out for me. Even if I did that, the review would probably be bad as I was tired and had already lost half of my mind, which is what happens at night. Besides, I think that no one would want to watch a review on YouTube at 1 o'clock at night. At least not mine. So here it is, guys, my review of Iron Man. Now, first of all, we've all seen trailers, right? Most film trailers are very, very awesome and make the film look like a masterpiece. The thing is, they usually are not. As I'm sure you've figured out by now, people make trailers to get you to watch the movie, so no matter how bad or stupid or crap-infested the film itself is, the people always try to make the trailers good. So when you see it in a theater, you go, this film looks really good. I should check it out. It's cruel, but it gets people to go see the movie. So, how should you know whether or not a film is good? Well, what I do is I wait until a day or two after the movie is released, and then I check out the reviews of it. Review sites that I recommend seeing are RottenTomatoes.com and Metacritic. That's just some advice. Just some advice. Anyway, when I heard about Iron Man, I didn't really care that much. The reason for this is that it didn't sound like it'd be very good. And I could usually tell whether or not I'd like a movie by just looking at it. It's just a skill. Also, Iron Man was never a comic book character that I cared about or liked, as opposed to Spider-Man, Batman, and the X-Men. However, I was still planning on seeing it. I saw the trailer on a website. I'm not sure what it was. Maybe it was YouTube. I don't know. Who cares? Anyway, I saw it and hated it. The trailer looked awful to me. But still, I did not judge the movie. I could, because if the trailer itself looks like crap, then that usually signs the film's death. But I was never the one who judged a movie by how good its trailer was, so I didn't see why I should judge it by how bad it was either. I checked out the reviews 1 or 2 days after its release, and I was tremendously surprised when I saw that the amounts of positive reviews that the film had received. At this point, my interest had risen, and I was very impressed with the film after I saw it. The story is about this very rich man named Tony Stark who's made a lot of equipment and created new technology that has supposedly helped America and its people, though there are some people who disagree largely, including a news reporter that, ends up sleeping with him. Tony Stark is played by Robert Downey Jr., who does an excellent performance. I haven't seen Robert in that many films. This is the first one that I had liked him in. He pretty much takes the character and makes him his own, much like what Johnny Depp did with Jack Sparrow. This film is definitely... his performance is definitely not all that makes the film very good. The writing in this film is very good and funny, as well as often intelligent and original. All the actors do a pretty good job. Most of the characters are realistic and well drawn out, but I felt that certain characters, notably Tony's love interest, Pepper Potts, lacked real development. Don't get me wrong, I liked her alright, and she's not a cardboard character or anything like that. It's just that most characters, except for Tony, always act like supporting characters. None of them get to have much spotlight. But, this is the first film. They may get a second chance to shine in the sequel, so I won't complain about that too much. The only character in this movie that I did not like was Raza, who's the leader of this group in the film known as the Ten Rings that captured Tony at the beginning of it. He just never convinced me, and I didn't care about what he would do or what would happen to him. He was never scary, nor was he ever interesting. He just walked around and smirked throughout all of his scenes. Of course, he doesn't turn out to be the big villain, so it's not a huge loss. Another problem I had with this movie was there were certain plot twists that were predictable. One of the main characters is this bald, bearded old guy that was a friend of Tony's father and now helps Tony out. All he does is walk around and smile. Sounds like he might turn out to be evil. Despite all these little flaws, the movie remains very good, and I strongly look forward to the sequel. It's a huge pity that it was released around the same time as The Dark Knight, which we all know stole both the critics and the comic book fans' attention. Films like The Dark Knight, films like The Last Stand and Spider-Man 3 may have made a few fans lose hope, but with the release of Iron Man, The Dark Knight, and The Incredible Hulk all in the same year, comic book films may still have hope of being good. Spencer24 Sony, this is my review of Iron Man.